seeing them die from cancer did make me think about, oh, what is it like to die or die young? Because my mom died at 48.
By the time I was 24 years old, I lost both my parents. My dad died of Parkinson's, and he essentially turned into stone in front of my eyes for like 5 years. And my mom, she died of cancer. Allowing assisted suicide to die with dignity, I support that wholeheartedly. My mom, she was pleading to die because she was in such pain. I don't think a lot of people even realize unless you see that kind of death. It also, on the flip side, made me never want to be in that pain. I think I'm more afraid of how I will die. Trying to take care of my body, eating well, trying to eat less meat, appreciate this, taking care of myself, getting some sunshine in a park, and living YOLO. You only live once, living to the fullest.
My mom died from, she died from ovarian cancer. 27 years ago, and my stepmom died last summer, but from lung cancer, and seeing them die from cancer did make me think about, oh, what is it like to die or die young? Because my mom died at 48. So that gave me some pause, but again, I'm not afraid of dying. Maybe because I've lived a great life and I don't have any regrets.
I'm 100% afraid of death. I think used to when I was younger, like 18, 19, 20, I really didn't care. I'm actually a professional boxer, and so I've been fighting my whole entire life, and I kind of grew up with that mentality that I don't care. And I think it kind of switched because now I'm 29, I'm a father. I have a daughter who's 3 months old, and it's just that's my new motivation. I want to be there every second of the day just with her. There's so much in the world I want to see as well. What happens after death? You know, what's there? Is it you just die and there's nothing? Do you die and you go to this whole other universe? Who knows? Is it just over with? That's it? It's just darkness? So now I would say death terrifies me because I want to be able to see my daughter grow up and see what she's capable of and what she'll become successful in and what her hobby is, what her interest is and whatnot.
I'm not afraid of death. The reason why being that I don't see this life as, I guess, truly living based on my theology. It would never lead me to a conclusion to fear death in a way where I should live my life trying to avoid death, in that life would be only good here, and when death comes it would end. As far as religious death, you should not believe words that men teach to you. The only word that is holy is the Word of God, and what really is the Word of God if all of the books here about God were written by men? I would say I should stay skeptical, stay questioning, stay attentive. My uncle died. He was one of the closest people in my life. He took every day at a time. He lived his best life every day. He was always trying to improve himself, even in his late 60s. There's always a way where you can become a better person, become a better neighbor, become a better brother, a better friend, better husband. He would always tell me that. So I believe that his life wasn't in vain. So I don't particularly feel sad for him passing away, but you always have kind of that missing, longing feeling of that person that you used to spend time with. But that's something that is mine, not something that's attached to him.
At my age, I might not have the full concept of death as the end of it all. The thought of death at a later time without fully living and doing everything I want to do, I guess scares me a little bit. I definitely want to leave a legacy and leave my mark somehow, probably through the work that I want to pursue, especially because I don't really want to like have kids or anything, and I think that's a main reason why people do that, is to try and leave a legacy and leave some part of themselves behind. But so I have to figure out another way to do that, hopefully through my work and stuff. I want to get into urban planning, develop future cities, try and help out as many people as I can, give them housing and places to live. I guess I think about it a lot, not a lot, but enough to keep it in my mind, because I think it's important to know that, you know, we're not here forever, so you got to make the most of your time. Try to think about living a full life and a fulfilling, happy life.
I am afraid of death, but I want to, you know, live a good life until hopefully that day in the future, and avoid death. And I guess that's why I'm afraid of it. I don't want it to happen now. There's still a lot I want to do. I'm a teacher, so I try to tell my students, you know, to be happy and live a happy life. I think it's good to be afraid of death. You know, live a healthy life as best as we can, so that we don't die early. I don't really believe in an afterlife. I'm not really scared of what will happen after, although hopefully, like, it's either nothing or good. I hate the idea of like eternity of bad things because I chose the wrong God or did something bad once. But it's very real that like that day could be today or tomorrow. So trying to live every day and like a happy, meaningful life, not just for myself, but for the people around me. Trying not to focus on the negative part of that, but more on the positive things I can do in my life instead.
Death doesn't scare me because I know I'm going to be with God. And what God is for me is love. So if I practice in my life love towards others, towards myself, towards people, then I know that in death, I will truly become love. I actually have a cyst in my right frontal lobe. 7-8 years ago, I literally thought I was dying. The doctors weren't sure what was happening. And I had this moment where I heard God in feeling, in emotion. He told me that I would be okay and that I would survive. Fear is something that happens because you have uncertainty about what's going to happen after. God really is there for anybody who reaches their heart and their mind out. When you live your life trying to share love and let people know that they're cared about, let people know that they're valued, you will be taken into a place of contentment and safety when you go to the next life, whatever that means after you take your last breath here on earth.